All right, good evening and welcome to class. Welcome. I'm excited to have you here one more time. My name is Isama Kawikune. As you know, I'm a team coach. Um, I'm an expert sex educator. I'm a teacher. I'm a body safety expert. Um, so these are Body Safety Academy, and I'm excited to have you here one more time. One more time. So, how have the week been for you? How did it go? How did your week go? What amazing thing did you do this week? Um, okay, so what beautiful thing did you achieve? Did you achieve any goal? It's the beginning of a new week. Have you been able to set a goal for the week? What do you intend to achieve this week? What do you intend to achieve this week? Sorry I couldn't meet with you people last week. I had a bit of some circumstances I couldn't handle, light issue here and there, electricity and all that. And before it was sorted out, it was already the next day. So there was no way I was going to hold that meeting just like that. But here I am today. Um, I hope you're happy. Hope you're doing well. All right, so without wasting much of your time, today I want us to look at what I titled mindfulness. 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 I want us to look at the topic called mindfulness. When we talk about mindfulness, what do we mean? When we talk about mindfulness, what do we mean? We use it almost every day. We say, you're mindful, and all that. So, when we talk about being mindful, what do we mean? What does it mean for someone to be mindful, right? Okay. Now, mindfulness refers to the practice of being fully present, fully engaged, and aware of a current moment. The practice of being fully current, fully engaged, and fully present at the current or aware of the current moment. I take that again. Mindfulness refers to the practice of being fully present, fully engaged, and aware of the current moment. Now, my question is, what moment are we living in? What moments are we living in right now? Are we aware of the current circumstances right now? Are we aware of the current issues that are trending right now? Like, are we aware of the things that are happening in our society right now? Now, this is what mindfulness means: being mindful, being aware, and being fully engaged in the current situations of the moment. Right now, we're having a lot of challenges, we're having a lot of issues, we're having a lot of cases, particularly when it comes to teenagers, when it comes to children, and when it comes to young adults. A lot is going on. A lot is going on. That is why you have this class here today, to guide you on these happenings, right? So we talk about current trends. What is the current trend? What is the current happening? Are we even aware of what is going on? Are we even aware of what the society is go what is happening, what is trending in the society? Before now, there were some things that were not normal, right? There were things that you can refer to as a taboo. There were things that you can see as a taboo. There were things that you can term abomination. But right now, these are the things that are trendy. These are the things that are currently happening in our society as at this moment. And because of civilization and westernization, we are beginning to lose our culture. We are beginning to lose our essence. We are beginning to lose our morals. We are beginning to lose who we are. Example of this current trend is the art of gayism. So we see that there's been a rampant um, art of people who are trying to switch gender. Are we even aware of these circumstances? People who were born, like yesterday, I was reading a post of someone on was it Instagram or Facebook, and this lady was a manner of audacity, not a lady, please, a man. He was saying that the next person that we refer to him as a man, he will lay a curse on the person. He will do this one, he will do that one. He doesn't want to be um a man. He doesn't want to be referred to as a man. This is somebody who was born christened as a man. Like the day they gave birth to him, his parents must have celebrated, bought drink for the people in the street. They have a boy, and then this boy grew up, no longer want to be a girl, no longer want to be a boy, now want to be recognized as a girl. I think, what's her name, is it Sasha or something? Different, we see cases. Bobrisky is another case, right? Bobrisky is another case. If you can hear me, I want you to go to the chat box and say I can hear you clearly. If you can hear me, just type I can hear you so that I can know you can hear me. I can hear you. If you're here, just type I can hear you so that we can continue. Beautiful. All right. So let's continue. Hello, success. Welcome. Okay, so now when we talk about this issue, are we aware of the current trend? That is what we're looking at today. That is the topic we are looking at today: mindfulness. Mindfulness. When we talk about mindfulness, are we aware of the current trend? Are we aware of the current practice? Are we engaged in this current practice? That is being mindful. That is what mindfulness refer to. And I said, example of this current trend that is happening is the art of gayism. People who no longer want to recognize with their God given sex, gender. People who do not want to recognize or who do not want to be recognized by their God given agenda. So, take example is the famous Bobrisky, who in real sense is Idris because he's a boy or he's a man. Now he bears Bobrisky plus different feminine name. He dresses, in fact, if you see him and you don't know that if you come across him for the first time, you won't even know that that is a man. So that is one of the current issues we are having right now. That is one of the current problems we are having right now. So how many of us are even aware of this problem? How many of us are even aware? Because when you're not aware, you become chances are you may become a victim. When one is not aware of their environment, the chances of becoming a victim is so high. That is why it is good that at all time you equip yourself with knowledge of things. You become mindful of the things that are happening around you. You become mindful of the things that are happening around you. I always tell most parents I see who are planning to relocate abroad or who are relocating abroad, I always tell them, before you carry your bag and go to the abroad, make sure you educate your children on life abroad. Tell them what to see and what to expect. Don't just assume that when they get there, they will be fine, they will live. You've done enough. You, in fact, the home training you've given them is enough to keep them going. No, there's something called peer pressure. There's something called peer pressure. That is when your friends begin to convince you to do something. That is when your friends begin to tell you things that, you need to try this, you need to do this, you need to do that. If you take, for instance, this person I talked about, this Bobrisky, if you go down memory lane, you will see that his journey to um gayism started, or his journey to cross dressing, because he started as a cross dresser. His journey to cross dressing started from peer pressure. He felt the need to belong. He felt the need to be part of what others were doing. He felt left out. That is where most of us are having issues today. We believe that, oh, my friends are doing it, so I should do it. You believe that because everybody in your class is doing it, or maybe every girl in your class has a boyfriend, so it's normal that you get one for yourself. But things are not done that way. What is right is right, what is wrong. Even if it means everybody is doing the wrong thing, it is still wrong. That everybody is doing it does not make it right. I repeat, that everybody is doing it does not make it right. So when you see people who suddenly stop having, start having affection, all of a sudden they start having affection for their fellow gender, there's problem. There's problem, right? There's problem. Is one of the trending problems we have in Nigeria right now. And it does not only involve adults, it involves teenagers. In fact, it starts from teenagers. It starts from teenagers. You see teenagers who they tell you, why do you want to become a girl? Most of them, you see them dressed like tomboys, walking up and down, dragging chaps up and down. And these are girls, beautiful girls for that matter. They no longer want to be girls, they now want to be boys. The same thing with boys. Boys that were raised with muscles and strength and energy and vigor and everything, they no longer want to be boys, rather they want to be recognized as girls. They now want to be talking with tiny voice. They now want to wear wig and wear frontal. They want to fix their nails and wear high heel. That is the trendy issue we are having right now. That is one of the trendy issue we're having right now. Now, another trending issue is the issue of social media. The issue of social media. A lot of us are abusing, especially teenagers. A lot of us are abusing social media. A lot of us, whether we like it or not, a lot of us are abusing the social media space. So I was in a school last year and someone told me, as I was discussing with the students, they were all primary, secondary students. There was no university person there. There was no school leaver there. They were all secondary school and primary school girls. And they told me, they said, Ma, that I think one girl said She complained something about being on dating sites. And I asked her, how old are you? If I check your age, you're not more than 14. What are you doing in a dating site? What are you doing in a dating site? Like, a lot of teenagers are in dating sites. Some of them even have WhatsApp group where they go chat, exchange pictures, explicit pictures, pictures that should not even be taken in the first place. So right now, most girls are fond of sharing their nude picture in the name of trying to please another person who doesn't even care about them. Because any girl that is below the age of marriage has no relationship being in a relationship, has no business being in a relationship. Relationship must thrive and it is age appropriate. If you in secondary school and let's assume you're in JS 2 or JS 3, what are you doing in a relationship? Are you ready to get married? So in a bid to please somebody who doesn't really care about you, you begin to send your nude pictures. You snap yourself naked and you begin to snap to send it to another boy. And that one shares the picture. I remember there was this particular movie we watched, and this girl, in a bid to, they were secondary school students, all of them, please her boyfriend in school, snapped her nude picture and sent it to the boy. Do you know what the boy did? The boy did not only um he didn't just save the picture, he shared it with his friends as well. So those friends had their own other friends, those ones shared it with their friends, and the sharing continued. Before the girl got to school the next day, her pictures were everywhere. It was everywhere. It got to the school authority and she was suspended. In fact, they summoned her parents and sent the pictures to her parents. You, imagine somebody sending your naked picture to your parents. How will you feel? How will you feel? Now, it didn't just get to her parents, it has gotten to the whole school. Like, it's now in news, it's now everywhere. And she was passing all through the school. People were making mockery of her, they were laughing at her. Look at this one, see this one. So you went and snapped your picture, you're just a fool. You see, something she did, she actually did it just to please somebody. And then she ended up in big mess, in a big mess. Even if the school forgives her and bring her back, it's going to take a lot of time to erase that memory. It's going to take a lot of time to wipe out that memory of what happened, because it may never be erased. It may never be erased. Even after several years, some people will still come and remind that girl, have you forgotten that when you were in JS 2, look at what you did. So we should be mindful of the things we do, and we should be mindful of the current trend. Devil has a way of luring children of God to do things that are inappropriate. First of all, it makes the picture look so perfect. It makes it look like a tiny sin. You say, look at when he went to tempt Eve, for instance. Out of everything in the Garden of Eden, it was that same thing that God warned them to stay away from, that tree that he tempted them with. He tried to convince them that that tree had no issue. It's just a small bite. Just bite it. Just put your teeth. You don't even have to bite it hard. Just place your teeth on the fruit. And that was how Eve foolishly took a bite and then ended up in trouble. Now, what that passage is telling us, or what I learned, one of the moral lessons that I grabbed from that passage or from that story, is because when Adam left, Eve was idle. Idleness can lead people to their doom. Most of the issues we're having with teenagers today are because of idleness, as a result of idleness, as a result of idleness. Let's assume now if you go to school in the morning, you come back, you read your book. When you're done, you do some house chores. It's time for evening food. You go have your bath, you eat your dinner, and when you're done, if you want to read, you want to watch movie, and you're done for the day. The next day you recycle it again. I don't think you have time to come and start looking for where and how to snap your naked picture. But when you're less busy, when you don't mind, when you're not doing anything, when you're just there thinking, oh, all my friends are now have boyfriend, it's only me that doesn't have. All my friends have this, it's only me. Before you know, devil will occupy your brain. Devil will start telling you things that are not there. Devil will start telling you things that are not real. And before you know it, you're conforming. Before you know it, that you're concurring to the whatever lies that devil is telling you. So we must be mindful of the trend. I tell you one story. Sometime last year, there was a bad tape of a particular man that was everywhere. Everybody was hurrying. Let's go and watch that movie. Oh, let's go and watch that movie. Oh. Let's go and watch. Everybody is watching. Oh, we're not watching. Oh, we've not watched. Well, it was the naked picture of that man. People were running up and down. I even see parents. I saw parents shouting, wondering, share with me, share the link, share the link. And I asked myself, what are they doing with all these things? Like, what are you doing with all these things you're asking for? We should be mindful of the things we consume. We should be mindful of the environment where we live. We should be mindful of the kind of friends we keep, because those are the people that will determine whether you will go far or not. There's a proverb that says, show me your friend and I will tell you who you are. What kind of friends do you keep? If your friends cannot call you and say, oh, Amaka, let's go and read together, you don't have any business with their friendship. I remember my first year in school. In my hostel was one, in my room in our hostel was a lady. She was in third year. We were in year one. We were new students. So I observed that every night when others are sleeping, she's reading. How did I know? Anytime I wake up to go and pee in the night, I will see her reading. Then there was no we didn't have good gen, so it was more of lantern. We all had rechargeable. Every almost everybody had rechargeable then in school. So she will always I will see her rechargeable lantern on, or she will on her. Then it was touchlight phone, not just this Android phone. It was that famous Nokia touchlight phone. So I will see her, she'll be reading. And one day I approached her and I said, Auntie Maureen, I noticed that you're always reading in the night. She said yes. I said, but me, I don't know how to read in the night. I didn't learn it. I can only read in the afternoon, but I don't have such time, like much time, because your hostels, your lectures will run from like 7 in the morning to like 4 p.m. And when you come back, you go and look for what to eat. When you're done with eating, you're already tired for the day. You just want to go to bed, right? So what time? She now said, if you start training your body, if you start training yourself, your body will adjust. And I said, okay. So what did I do? I said, okay, ma, what can I do to keep awake? Because I would love to read with you in the night. She now said, okay, when you wake up, make some hot tea and drink. That heat, from the tea will allow you stay awake for like 3, 4 hours. I said, okay. And the first day I did it, the second day, the first week, before you know, I didn't need to use any tea anymore. Like my body so adjusted that whenever it's time, whenever it's 12 a.m., my body is up from the bed and I will read till like 4 a.m. and then I will go back to bed. And it continued like that until I eventually left school. Now, what am I trying to say? Iron sharpeneth iron. It's been long. I think I left that school 2009. That is well over, I'm sure, almost in 4 years' time, it will be 20 years, right? In 4 years' time, it will be 20 years. So this is 16 years now. I've left that school since 16 years, but I still remember her today. I still remember it's been long since she graduated. I've not seen her. And she graduated way before me. I have not seen her, but I still remember her as someone who taught me how to read. Who taught me how to read. So the people you align with determines how far or how near you will go. If you're following, put in the chat box, say I'm following. I'm following. Put it in the chat box. Put it in the chat box. Type it. I am following. So, like I was saying, the people you relate with, your friends, determine how far or how short you will go. Everybody is not permitted to be your friend. I'm still waiting for your response. Put it in the comment section. I am following. Everyone is not permitted to be your friend. All right. Thank you, success. Everybody cannot be your friend, whether we like it or not. Everybody cannot be our friends. In fact, I personally do not appreciate making friends with everybody. I choose my friends. I choose the people I want to relate with. I am very choosy when it comes to friends. All right. Thank you, Bemisola. I am very choosy when it comes to friendship. Like everybody cannot be my friend. If I am not seeing value in our friendship, if there's nothing positive coming from you, if all the time we meet, you're telling me about somebody else, oh, do you know that girl? Oh, do you know the wig? Do you know the current wig? Do you know the current phone? Do you know the I will shift from you. I will shift from you. Everybody I want to make friends with, I want to be able to grab something from you. I want to be able to get something from you. See, before I become friend with anybody, I always ask myself, what can I get from this person? I can be that selfish, I'm sorry. What can I gain? What can I gain from my friendship with you? Are you teaching me how to read just like Auntie Maureen taught me? Or you're teaching me how to braid hair, or you're teaching me how to do my handwriting to be very neat, or you're teaching me how to do something good, like achieve something. That is the kind of friendship I appreciate. That is the kind of friendship I love, not the kind of friendship that is draining. All the time we are talking about somebody. Oh, do you know that girl? Very useless girl, very stupid girl. In fact, do you know the trendy jeans now? The kind of jeans that is raining now. The kind of, if you have such friends, please run. If you have such friends, disappear, run from them, because they will pull you back. Especially if you have somebody who know where you're going to. Especially if you know where you're going to, except you don't know where you're going to. If you know where you're going to, you must be mindful of the current trends around your environment. Now, before we got here, we were talking about sorry, let me exit this thing. We were talking about um the current trend. We talked about gayism as the current trend. We are talking about social media as the current trend, because teenagers are in social media. For our males, it's terrible. It is terrible. It is terrible. A lot of us are using the social media. Some teenagers, just like you and just like you people, what they do is to go to sites and download explicit content. Want to watch movie of naked people. I asked one someday, I said, this thing you're watching, what do you intend to do with it? Do you want to achieve any other thing? You want to shoot your own movie? Let me know. What do you want to what's your intention? Why are you watching it? There's something, nature abhors vacuum. Nature does not like vacuum. If there's anything called nature, like any vacuum at all, nature will occupy it. That's what it means. If you leave a space, nature will occupy it. Let's take for instance, in the Bible, a passage in the Bible said that when devil came, you know, he met a very clean environment. And what did he do? He went back and invited more evil spirits to come and join him to occupy that space. In my place, and I believe it's almost like that everywhere, when somebody dies and they dig the grave to bury the person, and maybe after some time they have any reason to remove that person from that grave, just like they did to that famous musician, what's his name, um what's his name, Mobad. Now, if they have reason to remove a dead person from the grave, they must put something that signifies the dead body, a dead body inside that grave. Because it is believed that if that grave is left open, it will continue to consume people. It will start killing people around, especially from the family members of that demised person, or the person that was exhumed from the grave. So nature abhors vacuum. Anything that creates vacuum, nature will fill it. Now, why did I go this length to explain? When if you're in the habit of watching pornographic content, when you're done watching it, your body will tell you to go and practice it. Because of course you cannot be watching it and not practice. You must practice it. You must practice it, and that is where your journey to masturbation will start. That is where your journey to masturbation will start. I was in the radio station sometime last year, and as soon as I left, a boy called me and said, please, ma, I need your help. I have been masturbating for the past several years. For the past, is it 3 years? And I asked him, I said, how old are you? He said he's 17, meaning he started since he was 14. And I said, so tell me, how does it happen? He said, because he's fond of watching pornographic content. I know some people will say, oh, I've never gone to a porn site to go and watch. I've never gone, but most of your movies, most of your cartoons, even in YouTube, are all sexualized. You see cartoons where a man is kissing a woman, somebody is removing somebody's clothes. They are all over the internet, even on YouTube. Even the one they call YouTube Kids that they say is more modest. There's nothing modest about it. There's nothing modest about it. There's nothing modest about it. So we must be mindful kind of relationship we keep. We must be mindful of the kind of things we consume. We must be mindful of the kind of things we consume. If you're in the habit of eating everything eatable, you go to school, you beg, please, hey, this one bring this one, I'm interested. That one bring, hey, give me, let me test. They will poison you soon if you're not careful. It's not everywhere you eat. It's not everywhere you go to that you eat. It's not everywhere you go to. It's not everybody you talk to. Sometimes when you enter an environment and they are talking, you keep quiet. I can be in a place from morning till night and somebody is talking. I don't feel like talking. You cannot beat me. You can't tell me to talk. You can't ask me that I must talk. You cannot. I am so mindful of my environment. I am mindful of the things I eat. I am mindful of the things I say. A lot of people are putting problems on their head because of what they say or because of what they said. Especially when it comes to social media. We feel because social media is there, you can just collect your phone and type back, 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 back. Then we can afford to say anything we like. We can afford to do anything we like. We can afford to share anything and nobody will say anything. Somebody can wake up one morning and say, oh, this person, your husband is no longer your husband, or your son is no longer your husband's child. And then you feel it's okay. We must be mindful of our words. Bible said that life and death is in the tongue, is in the tongue, is in the power of the tongue. If we cannot control our mouth, if we cannot control what we say, we may end up in trouble. We must be mindful of the things we listen to. There's one prayer I always pray with the children in my church every time, almost every Sunday. Lord, be in my head and in my understanding, be in my mouth and in my speaking, because you have to be aware, you have to be conscious of the words you speak. You have to be conscious of the words that come out of your mouth. Some of us are so careless with words. We are also careless with what we listen to. It's not everywhere they talk that you listen. Sometimes block your ear. Block your ear so that you don't end up in trouble. Filter what you listen to. Filter it. Filter it. Filter it. Be mindful of your environment. Be mindful of the things you hear. Be mindful of the things you say. Be mindful of your friends you keep. A teenager approached me in church sometime last year, and she told me that there's something bothering her. I said, what happened? She said that they've been doing this for some time, but she feels it's not right, so she wants to stop and does not know how to help herself. So I said, what has been going on? What is it? She attends government model secondary school in Asaba. So what happened? It happened that I think they should be in just she's a junior student. It happened that every time, once a week, when they are going to school, they have a group, right? A group of girls. So every time they are going to school, once a week, in that maybe a particular day of the week, they will put their school, um, they'll put their swimming clothes inside their school bag. And then when it's time for break, when everybody, teachers have gone to gist, um, because they are not in primary school where you have to cage everybody, and because it's government school, there's a little bit of freedom, so they may allow them to step out of the gate or go across the gate to buy snacks, during the break time. So each time it happens to be break time, they will all sneak out of the school and then escape. They already have vehicles waiting for them. They already have cars, the right? Like they already have men or boys who are already stationed outside waiting for them. So anytime they step out, they quickly change their uniform to mufti and they go to swim. And then when they are done, they check time. When it's time for closing, they go back to this time around, they go back to their uniform and then they return home. And this has been going on for months. So she got tired and she told me, I want to stop. I want to stop. That was because after that Sunday we had a program because I work in the children church. I teach in the children church. So after my meeting with them, she felt remorseful and she came to me and said, I want to stop, but I cannot stop. And unfortunately, she cannot stop. You know why? Because her friends are still there. So until she's able to detach from those friends of hers, she may not be able to help herself. So I told her, if you really want to stop and it's in your heart to stop, the first step is to disassociate, disengage from those your friends. You have to disengage from those your friends. If you keep saying, "No, they are my friends, I don't care, I don't worry, I'll manage them. I promise I'll not be going out with them again, but let me just be friends with them," you're wasting your time. It's only a matter of fact or a matter of time, excuse me. It's only a matter of time before you join them again. It's just a matter of a few days' time before you join them. By the time you go and tell you, "Oh, do you know that that man that has Lexus, that he gave me 10,000?" You say, "Hey, 10,000. Me, I've not even seen 10,000." She will not tell you that, "You see this 10,000, this coming Easter, I'm going to use it to buy rugged jeans. I'm going to use it to buy, you see those top that does not have back, those ones that the back will be open, those ones that as they are saying it, your longer throat is in like this. Your longer throat." The other one now say, "Ah, do you know that we ate shawarma today? Oh, the shawarma, we drank cold malt, under this hot sun." You now, hey, I wish I have not made a wrong decision. Why did I even stop? Hey, I can just be managing it. I'll not be doing every time. I'll be doing once in a month. Before you know, you've joined them again. So I told her, if it's possible, leave the school. If you're able to leave the school, then you can leave your friends. But if you're not able to leave the school, you may not be able to leave those friends. You may not be able, because they will keep coming back with testimonies of how it went. During my secondary school, I had some friends like that refused to hear. They were not my friends. They were my classmates. They refused to learn. Every time they are busy jumping, talking about boys, talking about this. Me, my saving grace then was that I had a father. My father, in fact, my father was hot pepper. So he will not even perceive it. He won't even hear of it. He will not perceive it or see it with his eye. He will just kill you. He will just kill you. So we were so afraid when we were growing up. We were so afraid. My father can even afford to throw you down from upstairs. He doesn't care. So we were afraid. Not like we had people telling us, oh, it is morally wrong or is morally right or this is what to do or this is what. No, nobody. But because of that fear, hey, my dad, you know, and my daddy was so harsh that everybody in the village knew him. So people will even warn their children, don't even go there. If you go close to those children, anything you see, you take. And everybody will be running far from us. We barely make friends with people because everybody were afraid. People were so afraid of my dad. So when it was time, when those my classmates come to school, they would tell gist of how they went out yesterday, especially those ones that attend Catholic. Unfortunately, we did not attend Catholic. We never attended Catholic because we were raised in winners. So every time they would come to school, they would say, "Oh, when it was time for seminary or what are those things they go to morning mass? They they will get dressed, tie their hair, wear long clothes, do as if they are going to church. Meanwhile, they are not going to church. They are going to their boyfriend's house. They are going to the so when they check the time, oh, by now mass has closed. They will return home. They will carry Bible. They were plenty. Then they used to have what's this other one called? They used to have night video. Their night video was almost like every Friday. So once it's Friday like this, you see them, they are excited. And the crusade, according to them, the crusade was always being held outside, you know. So it was in the field, and a lot of people, you even see people coming from outside the town to come and take part in the prayer and crusade. And they are always outside. So they are excited. Once it's 10 o'clock, the thing will start and it will end by 5 o'clock in the morning or 4, I think 5 a.m. So that time is enough time for them to go to their boyfriend's house, sleep. And then when it's 5 o'clock, they will sneak back into the church or probably go home and go and pretend as though they were in the church. Do you know that this thing continued and continued and they were enjoying it? Unfortunately, some of us were underprivileged. We couldn't afford to live that lifestyle, especially because of the kind of family I came from, right? Because of the kind of father we had. He didn't give us that opportunity. Oh no, my daddy will kill you. You don't even have a choice. It's not optional. Until when we were going to write just three, it was just few days to our just three, or few weeks to our just three exam, and half of the class were pregnant. Like half of the class were pregnant. So they only allowed them because just three is an external exam. So the school authority allowed them to come and write their just three, after which they sent them home. So by the time we're resuming for SS1, we were just like half of the class. So when those other ones that eventually returned to school, like their parents forced them back to school, when we were in SS2, they were in SS1, they lost 1 year because that 1 year was for them to nurse their baby. The other 1 year, some never returned back. In fact, anytime I go to the village now, I see some of them. At a point when I was in my school when I was in college. One was working for my dad as a sales girl. And then when I came, she was my classmate in primary school, secondary school, until she got pregnant in just three and stopped going to school. So I asked her, I said, don't you have any plan of continuing your school? She said no, that her children, because she gave birth to that one and gave birth to another one. And responsibility built up. So why do we want to put ourselves all through all these troubles? Knowing all these things, why do we want to put ourselves through put ourselves in harm's way? In my class, um, I think in my current school where I work, I resumed in September 2022. And no, I resumed in November 2022. And as at 2023, there's a particular girl called Joy. Very fine, fine. Who is that noisemaker? Shh. A very fine girl. Fine. I think she was the finest in that class. And then all of a sudden, we stopped seeing her in school. I kept asking, anytime I come, I'll say, where is Joy? Because she's quite easy to notice. She's very jovial. She's this type of notice me, like you must notice me, you know. So she and her chair is in front. So I stopped seeing her. And I kept asking. The first time I asked their friends, I said, where is Joy? They said she didn't come to school. The next week I came, where is Joy? He said she's not feeling fine. So what is happening? Where is Joy? I continue asking. 2 weeks passed, 1 month passed, one term passed. So one day, as we were coming to school, myself and my friends, we were driving. As soon as we got to the school town, as soon as we got to the village, I saw somebody. As soon as she saw us, she was trying to hide. And I said, Joy, come, I've seen you already. She now came out from back of the tree where she was trying to hide. And I looked at her. She was pregnant. I'm talking about 2 years ago. She was pregnant. You know the shocking thing. The boy that impregnated her was in the same class with her. The boy that impregnated him, his name was, I think his name is not so. It should be, he's in SS3 now. His name is not so. The boy had to continue his school while the girl stayed back to give birth and nurse the baby. So why are we not mindful of these things? Where do we want to act? Are we just living life because we just want to live life, or we are living life on purpose? We are living. Do we have a picture of where we are going to? Because if you have a picture of where you're going to, you will be mindful of the things that happen around you. You'll be mindful of the kind of friends you keep. Now, imagine those my friends that I told you that were attending um, Catholic church, that were always going for night video, morning mass, afternoon mass, evening mass, just not because they want to go for the program, but because they saw it as an avenue, as an opportunity to go and play with their boyfriends. And when the time came, all of them, all of them that were involved, all of them got their reward. Now let's assume we were given such privilege. Let's assume my father was not the harsh type. Let's assume we were allowed to do things we wanted to do. Let's assume we could go anywhere because we didn't have this privilege. Let's assume we were allowed to go anywhere, come in anytime, do anything. Nobody's checking us, nobody's asking us, nobody's talking to us, nobody's advising us, anybody. I'm sure by now, myself and my sisters, everybody, all of us will be littered at home now with plenty children, with no father. Maybe by now I will have like 10 children, 10 different fathers. But when you have a picture of where you're going to, you become mindful of the things that happen around you. You become mindful of the things that happen around you. You were not sent to school to go and be be jumping fence and be going to swimming pool. You were not sent to school to go and be exchanging letters. See, it's normal, completely normal to just feel like, oh, I want to be friends with a boy, I want to be friends with a girl, or I like this girl. But these are feelings that wash away with time. In fact, it may not even last 6 months. It may not last 6 months. It may not last 6 months. I'm sure if they take statistics of parents now, if they say, oh, mommies or daddies come out now, the people you wanted to marry or the people you liked so much when you were in primary and secondary school, were they the people you got married to? You will see that 99.9% did not work. In fact, 100% did not work. 100, because it was infatuation. It was just something that will wither with time, just something that over time, give it 1 3 months, it dies off. So why throw yourself at a boy because you feel, oh, my body, if I don't sleep, if I don't see him, if he doesn't tell me I love you, I will die. You're not even thinking about the future. You're not even thinking about the future. The person you're thinking about may not be thinking about you. That's the truth. The person you're thinking about may not be thinking about you. So we have to be mindful. We have to be mindful. That's our topic this night, mindfulness. We have to be mindful of the things around us. We have to be mindful of the things we say. We have to be mindful of our actions. We have to be mindful of the things we consume. We have to, when I mean consume, I'm not only talking about the things you eat. I'm talking about the things you let enter your head. I'm talking about the things you watch. I'm talking about the things you read. I'm talking about the things you hear. These are things you consume. These are things you consume. Some children are in porn site every day and night. Some are watching. What are you watching? The thing you're watching, what are you doing with it? What do you intend to do with it? What do you intend to do with it? What do you intend to do with it? The things they tell you, oh, have you seen that boy? If you see that boy, yeah, if that boy, what are you doing with that boy? You still have so many years in front of you, a lot of years, a lot, a lot to be distracted. Now, imagine the story of that joy that I told. A beautiful girl, very beautiful girl. She may never have opportunity of going back to school again. Maybe at the end of the day, she will end up owning a farm in the village, frying garri. In the morning, she will go back to go and fry garri. Except she realizes her mistake, make amends, and then start living an intentional life. Intentionality is the word. Where do I want to end up? Where do I want to end up? How do I want to live my life? How do I want people to see me? I've always wanted a place. In fact, as a young girl, I've always dreamt of people calling my name. I've always wished an opportunity where people will call me, like as you call my name, there's so much ovation, everybody shouting, oh, I want to know her, I want to be like her, I want to be like her. You see my picture, you say, oh my God, this woman, I want to be like this woman. I wish I can be like this woman. That is the kind of life I want to live. A life of impact, Not the one that when you're passing, people will close their nose and this one, are you sure she has had about since the past 3 days? Because the armpit smell itself will not allow you cannot even afford the basic things. It's all by choice. It's by choice. It's by choice. See, we are all given equal life, equal opportunity. Nobody's time is longer than another person. Happens or what determines where you're going to is your intentionality. You want to go far or you want to go short. Life is by choice. Life is by choice. Nobody was born with 30 hours. Nobody has 25 hours in a day. We all have 24 hours. What are you doing with your time? If the friends you have today are not motivating you to go far, if they are not asking you, okay, what about WAEC? Have you gotten WAEC timetable? Have you seen past question? Have you done this? Have you done that? Are you going to write this? Which school do you want to attend after university, after secondary school? Do you want to school in Nigeria or you want to school outside Nigeria? Have you told your parents about? If I'm not asking you these questions, you don't have any business with them. You don't have any business. If all they come to school to talk is to talk, hey, do you know Amaka wrote one boy a letter, and the boy slapped her, and the slap did this, and that one. You don't have friends. You don't have friends. My friend asked me last week Monday as we were coming back from school. He said, "Summer, when is your program?" I say, "Is this time Monday now?" She said, "Okay." I'm asking because I want to come and play with you on that day. I said, "Thank you." That's her own way of supporting me. When I did my program last year, they all came. All of them were present. They were all present. My friends were around. They were helping, running around, making sure that everything is okay, making sure that I don't stress myself. That is what friends do. Not the ones that will be jealous of you and say, "Oh, see this one, and she's trying to form that she's the most brilliant. She's trying to form that she's the most important. Who cares? Who do this one? Everybody is because she's being carrying herself up and down. People are now hailing her." If that's the kind of friends you have, you don't have friends. You have enemies. You have enemies. So we must be mindful of the kind of friends we keep. We must be mindful of the kind of friends we keep. All right. So, um, if you have a question, please feel free to drop your question in the comment section. I'll be going through them. You can drop a question for me as we round up. All right. One more thing, I want to ask for a review. What did you learn today? Drop it in the group chat, in the WhatsApp group chat, so that others can see what you have learned. If you learned something from this class, if this class was impactful to you, drop a comment in the comment section so that those ones that were not around today can understand what is going on here so that they will know that we are serious. And then I want you to also invite somebody to the academy. We've opened it up, it's free. So invite somebody, invite one, invite two, invite 10, invite 100, as much as you can. Invite them into the academy. It is free. So I'm still waiting for your question. Any question yet? So no question for now. Don't forget to drop your comments or give us a positive comment in the WhatsApp community. Okay, give us a review in the WhatsApp community. Thank you very much. My name is Isama Kawikune, and I will see you second Sunday in the month of April. Second Sunday in the month of April. Meanwhile, if you're in Asaba, we have a program coming up for teenagers on the 21st of April, and it's Easter Teens Special. It's for teenagers only. We want to have an opportunity to discuss with our teenagers. We want them to learn. We want them to have the opportunity to share their challenges and struggles with us, um, without feeling judged, and without this awkwardness about opening up. So we are giving them a free opportunity to share their struggles with us. I won't be there alone. I have some friends who will be coming on board as well. I have some coach friends um, who will be around to join in the program. So I look forward to seeing you. The program is 5,000 naira. It's open to everybody, whether boy or girl, from age 12 and above. So I will see you when I see you next month, because next Sunday I'll be seeing age 6 to, I think, 6 to 12 or 6 to 11. I'll be seeing them next Sunday. So until next month, bye, and do not forget to drop that comment in the WhatsApp community. See you and good night. God bless.